Is that awkward distance between 30 and 90 yards. The setup and the way that we execute the chip shot and the pitch shot are actually quite similar. So if you go to a release 2, like a Daniel Grieve way kind of release 2, which is using the mid section of the sole, so we're grounding that part of the club because we're going to use the mid section of the sole. Therefore, we just create a bit more of an angle with the wrist. It's certainly not this way as it would be for his release number 1. Just a softer wrist, creating an angle there. The butt of the club is therefore lower. Now, what we're going to do is set up, left foot open. I've got a couple of club head widths apart here. Now for my pitch shot, I would, nice really loose grip, just to create a bit of an angle on the way back. I'm not forcing that angle, that's a natural wrist hinge. Get my left arm about halfway back, my chest nice and open. And all I'm going to do then is turn the chest on the spot, okay? I'm not going to lean into it, I'm actually pivoting on that left foot throughout, okay? So that's my stake in the ground. With a chip shot, I'm going to be turning, my elbows nice and tucked in, the club face facing back towards me. Now obviously with a pitch shot, we need to create a bit more distance, so trying to achieve more distance with a similar release is quite difficult because it will just balloon up in the air. So all essentially we need to do is just to turn that toe over, just so the toe of the club is pointing up at the sky and we're not holding it off, and that will just allow it just to travel through the air a little bit lower and you get a bit more distance. So let's do chip shot first of all. So I'm going to go to this front flag here. Nice soft landing, just hands just finished nicely out in front like so. And now we're going to go to the back flag, exactly the same. So I'm literally, everything's being led by the turn of my chest. So I'm taking it back nice and wide, a little bit of wrist hinge, and from here, I'm on my left hand side, I am simply turning the chest. So my movement is that, and that is what pulls the club underneath me. I'm certainly not pulling the club towards me or trying to flick it with my wrists. Remember, the wrists are really quiet because the grip is super, super soft. So let's try the pitch, same action. Just going to turn the club face over. Bear in mind I've got a 60 in my hand, which I wouldn't normally use for hitting something 50 yards. We'll give it a go. There you go, pitch pretty close to the hole. So there you go, that's the difference really in between chipping and pitching. Setup very similar. It's the release number 2. If you've seen some of the other videos that I've done on the Daniel Grieve method, you'll see the differences really are setup, how close we get to it, and then we've got the lob shot, we get further away from it still, and then it's the wrist shape on the way back. So number 3, lob shot. Again, watch out for that video. It is more of a cupping of the wrist this way, everything you shouldn't do with a regular iron shot. And what that does is keeps the face wide open all the way through the shot. We'll cover that on a later video.